What's up, guys? We're back in the DB room. I'm Glover Quinn, your host, retired Pro Bowl defensive back. Today, we're going to continue talking basic coverages, basic install. We've already talked cover one. We've already talked cover two. Hopefully, you guys have checked out those videos. Today, we're going to start talking cover three, okay? Cover three is a basic Pop Warner, probably the first coverage that most people learn when they start playing football is cover three, okay? Single high defense. We're going to get into all that stuff. It's a lot to cover. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're going to start out on the board where we just kind of go through and identify zones, okay? We can always start right here, get these zones identified, talk about the ones that we will cover in cover three, okay? So we went over this in cover two, identified all these different areas, okay? But today we're going to talk cover three, okay? We're going to talk cover three. So in cover three, we're going to really have these zones right here are going to be our focal point, okay? But let's talk about the underneath zones, okay? You have these out area, you have this curl area, you have your hook area, two hook areas in the middle, curls on the outside, and they're out on the other side, okay? So let's talk about how these will work in cover three, okay? So in cover three, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4 D linemen, okay? We have 1, 2, 3 DBs deep, right? That gives us 7 guys. That means we only can have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys underneath. That's different than in cover two, because in cover two, if you remember, we had 2 guys deep, 4 guys on the D line, and now we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys underneath in cover two, okay? So in cover three, we have 3 deep, and now we only have 4 guys underneath, so that changes our zones and how we can play them, okay? So let's talk about the different zones. Like I said, we have our hook area in here. That's mainly where our middle backers, sound backers, our linebackers will be covering those hook areas for us, okay? We have our curls area out here. That's going to be where our safeties are going to drop down and cover the curl area, and then our outside backers will cover the other curl area. We'll talk about their technique and how they want to play that. These out areas, when you only have 4 guys underneath, some zones will be vacated and have to be played as needed. So these out areas are the areas that will be played as needed. And then obviously these flats area, the same as in cover two, we talked about it. We want the quarterback to throw the ball out here so that we can drive and break and make those tackles, okay? So those are our zones from cover three that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the deep thirds. That's why it's called cover three, because we have 3 guys who are going to be playing the deep portions of the field. Let's go look at it on the whiteboard and see how it plays out. Okay, so now we're over here on the whiteboard, all right? Let's talk about this. We have to go through it every time just to get some consistency so you guys start to hear it, see it more, understand. Let's identify personnel. We're always going to start out in 21 personnel. That is a basic personnel that, like I said, from the Pop Warner Little League level, most kids will learn 21 personnel with the I formation. This time we have the backfield in a near set, though. We're not doing just a basic I. We're doing the near set, okay? So identify the personnel. It's 21 personnel. We got our 2 backs, and then we have our 1 tight end. That gives us 21, leaving 2 wide receivers on the edge, giving us our 5 eligible guys, okay? So that should be getting very, very, very clear to you guys. So understand the expectations of the coverage. We talked in cover two. When you get cover two versus 21 personnel, you're probably protecting against play action and shots, probably a sudden change, because 21 personnel is generally a run heavy personnel for the offense. So you don't want to be in a lot of cover two, a lot of split safety stuff, because it gives you 7 men in the box. We've already talked about that, okay? So if we're going to be playing cover three, now cover three is just like cover one. It's an 8-man box, okay? It's an 8-man box. We're just playing zone instead of man. So when you get 21 personnel, your coordinator calls cover three. He's protecting you against the run, okay? He's helping you. He wants to stop the run, and you have to hold up against the pass, okay? You have to hold up against the pass in that coverage, okay? That is what you're expecting. 21, cover three, let's stop the run, okay? So let's identify the close call. We got the close call right here. Tight end is to the offensive right, so that's going to make it a defensive close left. That's why you got a Sam linebacker on the left, and our strong safety is lined up to the left, okay? 7-man front versus 8-man front. That's what we talk about. 7-man front. This right here is a 7-man front look right now. See, my safeties are deep, okay? 7-man front look. You see the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in the box. That looks like 7-man front. But we're playing cover three, so this guy, this safety, is going to make his way down into the box, okay? Now this free safety will go to the middle, and that will give us our 8-man front, okay? You see this right here where it says middle field closed versus middle field open. Your cover one, your cover three, those are called middle field closed defenses. Why? Because we have a middle field safety that's playing in the middle of the field, okay? So as an offense, when you have middle field closed, you're not running a lot of things and trying to attack the middle of the field, because the quarterback has read that the middle of the field is closed, okay? When you have your cover two and your cover four that we'll get to coming up, those are called middle field open defenses. So you see in cover two, our safeties were wide. The middle of the field is open. So now the quarterbacks want to attack the middle of the field, okay? So your cover two, your cover four, those are middle field open. Cover one, cover three, those are middle field closed, okay? Very important that you understand that from an offensive perspective and a defensive perspective, okay? So let's talk our player responsibilities in cover three, okay? Let's talk it in cover three. All right, so we see our corners out here. You see those guys have the arrows going back, okay? Those guys are playing a deep third, okay? They are playing a deep third. The field is broken up into thirds. The corner is responsible for 1/3. The other corner is responsible for the other third. And then the free safety is responsible for the middle third, okay? Look at our guys underneath. This Will linebacker. He's going to your curl area, okay? This Mike is going to be playing your hook area. The Sam is going to play the other hook area. And then the strong safety is coming down to play the other curl. We talked about one of the zones will have to be vacated because we only have 4 guys underneath. So our out areas, we're going to vacate those until someone takes us to that area, okay? The cool thing about playing this zone coverage is you don't have to run with motion. They can do all the motion that they want, and all we have to do is just bump out. We bump out, we bump in, and we're still playing our cover 3, okay? Kind of gives it away, lets them know that we're in cover 3, but we don't really care, okay? Beat us. We don't really care that they know that we're in cover 3. The cool thing about cover 3 is it can look exactly like cover 1. The problem with cover three that gives it away most of the time is our corners, okay? A lot of times when we play cover three, our corners are played off because they know they have to get to the deep third. When there's man-to-man, our corners may be up in a press. So as a quarterback, you do film study, you notice, hey, when the corners are off, they're playing cover three. When the corners are on, they're playing man-to-man, okay? It can look exactly the same, but I can tell from my corners, okay? So that's when, as my corners, you have to get smart and understand, hey, I'm playing cover three, but I can show it from a press technique right here because I don't have any other threats that can get on me to threaten my deep area, okay? I don't have any other guys that can threaten my deep area, okay? This corner over here, he has the tight end that can get vertical, and he has this wide receiver that can get vertical. So he has some things that can threaten his third. So he may play that from off so that he can be in good position to cover both of those guys because he's playing that zone, okay? This guy over here can play a little tighter. He only has one threat, okay? And that's simply it in cover three far as the responsibilities, okay? As far as the responsibilities. But let me clear these these lines, and I can show you some of the problems that you run into when it comes to cover three. All right, so this right here is when you kind of get into problems, okay? So we got this free safety, he's playing the middle. We got this corner, he's playing the outside third. We got this corner, he's playing the other third. And then these guys are playing these middle zones, okay? They're playing those middle zones. This is what you get from an offense, okay? You get something like this right here. Take this guy to the flat, and then you get this guy on the 7 route, and say you get that guy going vertical, okay? Got a flood concept to the right side of the field offensively. How do we want to play that, okay? This corner has to be deep, right? He's the third corner. This safety, as this guy go up, this safety has to force this guy to get inside. Can't let him release outside. Got to force him inside, okay? Force him inside. And then as the quarterback comes back and he's looking that way, the safety needs to expand because this guy's going to the flat, right? But just like we talked in cover two, the corner in cover two, we didn't want to jump down on this flat route in cover two. It's the same thing for this safety now in cover three, okay? This safety, as this guy's going vertical and this guy's coming to the flat, this safety has to expand and play it high and force him to throw the ball down to the fullback in the flats, and you drive and you make the tackle, okay? You can't just run out there to the flats. You have to let something take you to the flats, okay? And then you want to play it high to low, okay? Still want to play it high to low. That's very, very, very important. Another thing, cover three against the 21 personnel, right? Say, for instance, X run vertical, the Z run vertical, and the Y runs vertical. Guess what we have? We have 3 vertical threats right there. But what also do we have? We got a corner vertical. We got a safety middle. We got 3 deep guys that can cover those 3 guys. So 3 verticals in cover 3 doesn't hurt you. But you just wait till we get to 11 personnel. We'll show you how to hurt cover 3. Matter of fact, let's jump right into it. All right, so now we're looking at it against 11 personnel. It's the same exact stuff, okay? Let's take a look at it. Let's identify personnel. It's 11 personnel. We got our 1 running back. We got our 1 tight end. That's going to give us 11 personnel, okay? You can see the 3 wide receivers left to give us our 5 eligible, okay? expectations. Once again, now we are in 11 personnel, okay? Coach calling cover 3 versus 11 personnel, we have some issues. Why? Because if they're going to run the ball, they're going to come out probably under center. And if they're in a gun, it's going to be the shotgun run, okay? The problem that we have versus 11 personnel is this right here. Matter of fact, we'll get to it. Let's go over our close call real quick. We've got a close call right here. Tight end is to the right side of the defense. Well, the right side of the offense, put them on the left side of the defense. So that's going to give us a closed left call right there. And now our guys are playing our same jobs, okay? Our corners got the deep thirds on the outside. Free safeties in the middle. We got our Mike playing this hook. Sam playing that hook. This safety is playing the curl to flat. And now our nickel replaces our will linebacker, and he's doing the same thing. He's playing curl to flat, okay? He's playing curl to flat. So, talk about this nickel. We talked about it with the safety, how he needed to get this guy inside and not let him release outside. This nickel has a very important job. He has to force this guy outside, okay? Why do you want to force him outside? Because this corner right here is responsible for that whole third, okay? He's responsible for that whole third. So if we let this guy free release outside and we'll let this guy get in here, look how much space these guys have. This corner is going to have a lot of trouble trying to cover both of those guys, okay? But this guy's going to get a free release because the corner is playing him off. But if we can force this guy out here, we can force him out here. Now we're funneling him outside to where our help is, okay? We're funneling him outside to where our help is. So we bang him, we push through, and we flip our hips, and we play it just like a cover 2 drop. You play it high to low, okay? And the route concept that you get a lot of time is those flood concepts, right? This guy goes vertical, this guy comes up, run a 7, this guy goes to the flat. And a lot of times you see these nickels or these safeties, whoever these guys are, they come down and they jump this little guy in the flats, and the quarterback throw it to this tight end or this slot, whoever it is, running right behind them, okay? But let's talk about this real quick. We talked about in cover against 21 how we only had 3 vertical threats, and pretty simple for us to cover in cover 3. Problem we have now is in cover 3 versus 11 personnel, even versus 12 or any kind of way, they get us in 2 by 2. Got 2 guys on this side, 2 guys on that side. The problem that we have now is they can get us with 4 verticals, okay? 4 verticals. And in cover 3, that is the hardest route to cover. Why? Because I only have 3 guys deep, okay? I got 3 guys deep, and they're going 4 verts, okay? So we got to do a great job of distorting these guys so these guys aren't just running down the field. And then we got to get some pressure from my D-line, okay? There's other ways that you can cover that, okay? We used to have this thing where we would call it danger or pausing or whatever. When we had 2 by 2, we would make that alert, and all that would do is tell this nickel that he is carrying his guy, this safety is coming over to take this guy, this corner is taking that guy, and this corner is taking that guy. So now when they try to run their 4 verts, this corner has this one, this nickel has that one, this safety will take this one, and then this corner will have that one, okay? That's how we stop the 4 verts versus 11 personnel in cover 3, okay? But it's a lot of other things that we can get into and talk about. I just wanted to install the basic stuff when it comes to cover 3, okay? Our corners are playing the deep outside thirds. Our free safety is playing the deep middle third. And then we have our 4 underneath guys. We don't have 5. We only have 4 underneath guys, okay? And those guys have to play based off the quarterback. You have to play your first zone. That's why there's going to be hook, curl, or it's going to be curl, flat. Why? Because you have to cover the hook and then break to the curl. You have to cover your curl and then break out to the flats if the quarterback is throwing a ball out there. Same principles apply for those curl droppers. You got to play everything high to low in zones. Always play your zones high to low. You bite up on the low stuff, they hit the ball right behind you for big gains, okay? So that's the basics of cover 3. Pretty simple. Check this stuff out, man. Till next time, peace.